Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here again. Today, back in the truck. I will be putting in, what is this thing called? The turn signal switch. It's also called the windshield wiper switch. And if you're ordering from Rockauto, beware, the windshield wiper switch lists switches that are about $20 on average more than the turn signal switches. And I can't tell the difference. So I bought the cheaper one because it's a cheap truck. I'm replacing this switch mostly because of a self-inflicted injury. The turn signal and windshield wiper stock are the same on my truck. It's real loose. I'll show you here in a little bit. When I got the truck, I cleaned it all out. It's possible that I broke it, but the turn signal stock wouldn't stay pushed down into the receiver post where it went. And as a result, it would work its way out and it was hard to flip the turn signal on and off. Well, I got the bright idea that I could take it apart and jam it in there. When I did, I broke the portion of the switch that does the high beams. Leaving the high beams on, sometimes, you know, when I leave the truck, and I wouldn't notice till I saw them on and be on for an hour or two, or didn't ever leave them all night. Well, the only reason I'm replacing it is because I'm afraid I'm going to leave them on all night and drain the battery down. So that would be a problem, an actual legitimate problem. And like the rest of this truck, I figured it would be fun for the rest of y'all to see this in case you encounter this problem yourself. So, never having messed with the steering column on this F-150, we're going to figure it out together, and then we're going to put that switch in. So, join me as I stand in the middle of my street. Man, the kid just got buzzed by a bee. That's awful. Okay, anyway, I've got two holes down here, and one of them is a tiny nut. It's probably going to be hard to find the one that goes with it because that's been the case with Ford. And then this plug, not really sure what to do about that. I don't know if there's a nut underneath there or something, but we'll find out. I'll get this one off first. Anyway, I'm guessing that if I take the bottom piece off, the top will come out. Oh, that's too small to get in there. Darn it. Okay. Well, I own very little in the way of 1/4-inch drive sockets, so I'm just going to use my needle nose. I hope I'm going to use my needle nose. There. All right, let's see what happens on the other side. I've got more of those little tiny bolt screws, one on each side. That's what holds that on, so that's unfortunate. I'll give you a close-up, then I'm going to turn the camera off and take them off on my own. Right there. And then here's the other one on the other side. Right there. Okay. It'd probably be smart to take the battery off the terminal, but whatever. All right, now we've exposed this part. It always helps to look at the new one, see how the old one comes off. So if we take this out of the package, this is what we've got. and it goes in there like so. So I've got two pieces in the back that unplug. This is the part that was giving me trouble, so that keeps coming out. See that right there. Okay, so I've got a bolt, just one I think, and I've got two. At least two or three. There's a connector that's off. Here's one that's off. Well, I'm gonna wait till I get this thing out of here because that's actually a pretty slick system. The button is down inside there. That's not a slick system. All right. New part should only go on one way, right? This one's got a pigtail. Huh. That's the same end, so that's not good. We'll have to figure something out with that. Okay, so here's what I'm going to come up with. This is the old one, and even though the wires are somewhat different, they're also similar enough, so I'm going to cut the end off this, and I'm going to splice this on there, and then I don't have any butt splices, so we're just going to hope for the best. Alright, so here's what I've come up with. I'm going to cut these off real close, and then I've got heat shrink tube, so here goes nothing. They're not a direct match, are they? The reds are in the same position. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. Continuing thinking, I'm going to wire them in the same position that they're in. Colors don't mean anything necessarily, but position on the connector sure will. So we're going to use shrink tube. And so this, oops. There we go. This type of splice we're going to do here. I've heard this called a Western Union splice. I've heard this called a lineman splice. Either way, it's not nearly the best option, but in this situation, it's going to work. It'll work okay. There we go. Heat shrink tube, and we're going to shrink these as we go. Okay. I don't know if you guys got your fingers crossed, but I sure do. Hey, look at that's a great sign. All right. See if I can get some glare off of this. There we go. No, that's hilarious. So second speed now does my fluid. And the button does nothing. You know what? So we got a wire crossed. I ain't fixing it. I'm calling that a success. All right, guys, I hope this was useful to you. I got a couple takeaways, 2 for, well, 3 maybe, I don't know. I guess for starters, these old trucks, you know, it's worth $500. So if it doesn't work completely, then, you know, well. The cool thing about old vehicles is you can prioritize the repairs and then you can value them in your own mind, whatever they're worth to you. So I've got wipers and I've got turn signal. I forgot to check that. You can hear them. And I've got a high beam. I didn't really care about much else. Honest, I don't care if the high beams work as long as they don't stay on when the truck is off. And I don't care, you know, I just have to have basic functions. It's an old truck, right? Okay, takeaway number 2. When you buy cheap parts for these cheap vehicles, you're gonna experience things like this, where the wiring harness doesn't match up exactly perfectly. It's okay, you can fix it. As long as you use a little bit of your brain, figure out what wires go where, and nothing is irreparable. When you take something apart, as long as you don't mash it up and mangle it, you can put it back together. So we got a wire crossed. That's okay. If we had 6 wires crossed, we had to go back to the workbench and fix it. That's okay. You can do that. You can fix things. And don't be scared of fixing something that's already broke. What are you going to do? Break it worse? The third thing, is there a third? Oh, yeah. Just don't be scared to take chances in working on this stuff. It's a $500 truck with a $30 part. So there you go. I hope this was useful to you, but more importantly, I hope you don't have to deal with it. I appreciate you watching. Check out the rest of these Ford repair videos. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot more coming in the future. Obviously, it's a 350,000 mile truck. We'll see you guys in the next one. I know what I was going to say. These old vehicles aren't beauty queens, right? So you can decide how much of this beauty trim you want to put back and how much you want to just throw in the recycling bin.